Hello, I just haven't posted anything lately and I wanted to just do something. So, um, this is my attempt. My birthday just passed on the night, excuse me, sorry, on the 19th, and I wanted to have a party. And I didn't exactly have a party. Things didn't go exactly the way I wanted it to go. But I did get to see Alyssa, which is a young girl who used to come down to my house and see her baby. Yes, she did have a baby at a very young age, and that was her decision. I told her about sex before marriage. Like, my own son is a prude because he's really trying not to go down that road and make the mistakes that I have made. Um, and all the kids in my neighborhood know directly where I stand with that, um, because I met them all by bringing them to church on Sunday and having Bible study. So um, sometimes you think you can get away with things, and uh, you realize that you can't, and then you have a baby or something like that. So yes, she has a son, and he ran around circles around me in the apartment, and he was so busy. I couldn't even get ready. We were still trying to get to dinner, and I really could not put on my makeup. I couldn't do too much of anything. It was really woke me up. But he, it showed, just having him over showed me how lazy I have been. So it was good to have him over because it kicked me into high gear. Um, I just wanted to talk about, like, so for my birthday, what I wanted to do is I wanted to write a little statement, which I usually do on Facebook, but I just really didn't. I don't know. I was so busy. So I've been busy being sick. I get sick every week, something that debilitates me. I don't know why that happens. It's been happening. Um, Whether it be, like, for me, my allergies are so bad that, like, I don't feel like I can't talk to anybody. It just really puts me out. Then I got like bad vomiting, bad stomach cramps, and just assisted with vomiting. And that was really bad because I'm also trying to go to work too. So it's like I'm also going to work, right? So it really got bad. Um, and just different things like that kind of got in the way of things going like completely smoothly. So what I wanted to write about is just people understanding me. A lot of people think that me is a put on, and it's not. Like, I have this grandma uh, quality about me. Like, ever since I was a kid, people call me grandma, and I looked like a grandma, and I like, what should I say? I I was kind of forced to take care of all the kids as the eldest, so I turned into grandma at home, and I always just kind of played that character, um, which is the Wendy character, the character that takes care of everybody. And look, at Wendy is the eldest. Like, it does kind of make sense, you know. She is thinking in those ways, so therefore she's going to play that character. So yeah, um, that's what that's really about. I want to just explain my personality to people who really don't get me. Um, but, like, what else can I say? I am who I am. I've always been that person since the day I was born, pretty much. I've always taken care of my mom. My mom called me mom, and when I left, when I got taken away from her, she was kind of like, who's going to take care of me kind of thing, because I was that type of person. So, and I go behind my mom all the time, freaked out about turning off the lights, not wasting water, stuff like that. Like, I was just, and I was a 4-year-old, and I was just like crazy about conservation. Ugh. Just taking care of my mom, you know. And she felt really grandma-ish. And then I moved to my dad's house, and I ended up being the grandma there. And when I went to Pastor Anderson's thing too, people might have seen me as holier than thou, or acting. People maybe see me acting on ways, but that's just who I am. That's me. That's me. That's what I like. That's how I have always been from day one. And what else can I say about my personality? Nothing too much. I want to talk about Stefan Molyneux, and well, not really Stefan Molyneux, but like, what was I gonna go into? Okay, let me go to my church first. Okay, so I realize in the spiritual community these days, there's been a lot of the secret type of talk. There's this woman on YouTube named Marilyn Devonish, and a lot of different, and even Oprah Winfrey herself, and a lot of the secret type followers. And that type of talk is getting mixed up into church talk. And a lot of people in my church currently speak like they're talking, like they're the secret, like they are part of the secret club. The Secret is a book that I think Oprah Winfrey had a lot to do with, and it has to do with, you know, the fact that you attract all of this energy and this thing about this energy and blah blah blah, and that group of people talk a certain way, and that has kind of crept into the church because Jesus Christ is not the secret. And I really, yeah, because Jesus is not a secret, number one. Definitely not a secret. Like, not even to the Muslims, he's not a secret. So, you know, I always felt like kind of out of place because I don't talk like this super spiritual talk that they talk. And I'm realizing now that a lot of, like, 99% of their the way that they talk comes from that group that believes in the secret. So now I don't have to beat myself up for not being overly spiritual and having all these different weird jargons, you know. Anyways, I read my Bible, so what I think about definitely comes from there. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, so a lot of this over spiritualism that Pastor Anderson's talking about, and a lot of people are complaining about, I think it has to do with that book called The Secret. And then I want to talk about the black and white issue. Like, Stefan Molyneux is trying to talk about a lot of different issues, I don't know, that has to do with black people, even though he's completely white. He may understand some aspects, but it's kind of like, you don't even understand yourself. Please try to stay in your lane. Like, when I start telling white people how to live, then you can start saying that to me too. So the thing about black people in Canada is that the majority of them are very conservative. They've never even heard of reparations. Like, a lot of this radicalized stuff, a lot of the black people just think is too, here in Canada, they just think it's too extreme, and they've never heard of it, and they're really like just living their lives trying to raise their kids and work their job, and when they see these extreme forms of blackness, like they're just not interested and not involved. So a lot of what Stefan Molyneux is saying about black people is not even relevant in this environment. It's slowly this SJW stuff is slowly creeping here. Like Canada is seeing the first remnants of it with our first protest for Black Lives Matters, which was extremely small at the Gay Pride Parade, and it was maybe 10 or 20 or 30 people. So we're just really, we're not at the state of America yet, and I don't think we should act like we are, because we're not, and we don't even want to encourage that, because so this whole thing of, oh, just, what did he say, pull up your pants? No, he didn't say pull up your pants. He said he was making a lot of prescriptions for black people, but they would have more to do, those prescriptions would have more to do with black people in the United States of America. Here, they have done all that stuff, and it still doesn't make a difference. Like, black people are pretty much conservative here, and it's not making a difference. So racism is real. Racism is a definite effect in what is happening to black people. When people say Black Lives Matter, they're trying to say that having, first of all, I don't like the fact that we are called black. I really think I'm brown, and I know a lot of people who are brown too, and I really don't know anybody who is black. So yeah, but I guess the same thing with white people, and it's kind of rude too. White, they're white. That white person, are they white? No, they're not white. So I think it would help if we could find proper names to call people, because they really are base level names. So yes, a lot of the prescriptions he was making about the family, stop blaming the welfare system, and da 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 da, blah blah blah, that does not apply to Canadians. Most Canadians are Republican. Black Canadians are Republican. Very much against the welfare system themselves. Very much against, the government prodding into their stuff themselves. So the whole thing to do, he said, stop spanking your children. Well, with that one, I would have to say Stefan Molyneux, he could do with some himself. Like, I have seen a lot of, like, some kids come to my home and they're like, oh, these people talk to their parents like this, and they talk to their parents like that, and I know that they don't get spanked. Yeah, that's why there's no law being laid down in their house. There's no order, because there's nobody laying down the law. They can talk to their parents the way that they want to. You're a this, you're a that, F you, blah, blah, blah. Because nobody's going to tell them anything. And in this society, if nobody's going to tell you anything and can do anything, well, guess what? Wait till his daughter gets older. And you know what, too? This is the thing. This is the lie. The way people judge morals is just by how much money you make. Oh, you make a lot of money, so you must have a lot of morals. Oh, you got a good job, so you must have a lot of morals. A lot of successful people, and I'm not going to try to name names, but some close relationships in my life, they literally fight with their mothers, like throwing. I saw them like throwing groceries in the hall to each other, just constantly bickering and fighting and just completely rude and out of order. And the relationship is like the mother is afraid of the daughter, and half the time, and it's like there's no respect there, to the point where the daughter says, "I'm going to hit you," to the mother at 9, okay? And the mother just says nothing, you know? If I ever said, "I'm going to hit you," to my mother, first of all, my heart would break. I had a very soft heart as a child. I would cry if sad music came on the radio. So I just had a lot of respect for my mom, which she did not deserve, but I had so much respect. I had love for people. Like, I had so much love that I would not say something like, "I'm going to hit you," to my mother. Then, like, when I went to my dad's, if I said something like, "I'm going to hit you," to any of my parents, my lips would have been cut off. I wouldn't have had lips, okay? So there was a boundary, and people need boundaries, not just people, children. Children need boundaries. They don't know. They're not socialized yet. And when your boundary is, "I'm going to put you in the corner. I'm going to count to 3." I'm sorry, that does not work. And society will show you that it's not working. The teachers have absolutely no control right now in school, and there's nothing that they can do. These kids are not listening to them at all. What's his people say stop doing this, but what's your recourse? What's your recourse? You have no recourse, right? So yeah, I don't know. And then what else did he say? Start taking the family seriously, and all these different prescriptions, and I was just like, over half of the blacks, I hate calling them blacks, the brown people who are brown in Canada are conservative, and we're doing that, and we're going for these jobs, and we're not getting them, and we're having problems. And so it's not just about that. There's another aspect to it, and it has to be looked at and has to be solved. It should be solved. Is it going to be solved in this lifetime? Who knows? But I just wanted to say too, I'm really proud of my son. He's a genius. I hate to boast about my son, but as my birthday came up and I was thinking about the good things that I have in my life, my son is just amazing. I'm beginning to see that I think he is gifted. And I know that they did not catch it because they just didn't catch it. But he listens to classical music, and he will be able to see colors, and he's able to, and this is also a trait of a lot of the symphony composers and a lot of the gifted people that I have heard stories of, that when they listen to music, they will also see colors, and they will also and Devine's never listened to that rap music or anything. It's me who listens to rap. He complains every time I listen to rap, but I have to listen to my rap on my Saturdays. That's what I do. But he's got his classical music. I asked him to put something on. He's got Beethoven 5 or this or that or Ray Tay Tay. He learned French like a dream. He's being fully taught in French. Pretty much took over that on his own after we worked hard. We worked really hard in grade 1. And a lot of parents just dropped out, but I was just like, no, I gotta give my son the best future. And I just praise the Lord for that. The Divine's in the French program, and he's really good at math. Like at 9, he was doing a Google vlog, and he really just catches on to things real fast. He's a smart kid, and I really pray that somebody who is not a communist will see that and want to mentor him. A lot of people at my university, a lot of professors who were communists, wanted to mentor my son, and a lot of people in my family who were alcoholics, and they had made it in life, like a professor. Like, come on, who doesn't want to be with a professor? But there are certain influences I'm not accepting for my child, and even the church wanted me to hook him up with this other person who's committing fornication. I'm like, no, I don't want my son to be mentored by somebody who's committing fornication. Like, I think my prayer should be right now to find a mentor for my son that is suitable, because there are no suitable mentors out there. Like, and I know everybody's got their flaws, but seriously, like, the blatant ones, communist, drinker, fornicator, like, those are some big things that I really don't want my son to struggle with. So I don't care how much money you got. If you're doing some of those stuff, like, forget it. So, you know, I just pray to find a mentor. I've been, I don't know, should I say, yeah, as relationship-wise for me, I don't want to say I've been lonely, because I've been busy. I stay busy. I'm always on the grind. But that's the problem, too, because, like, now, like, I'm just trying to slow down, because, like, I realize maybe, too, I'm just trying to run away from being lonely, and then I'm never home, and Divine needs me because I'm at church. I'm at church all the time. That's my escape. Church got all these stuff for you to be involved in, and then you're not home, and that's another problem. And also, too, like, I don't like being out there, because for me, I get taken advantage of a lot in different types of ways. So I don't want to be out there for people to take advantage of me. If anybody's taking advantage of me, I'd rather it be my son, or just be for my own, take advantage of my own time, you know. But take advantage of my money, people trying to spoil my money. Like, the world is not in a good place right now. So I prefer to be around my neighbors and people who love me and people who can help me, because right now I need I'm just getting over a depression, and I don't really need to be torn down right now. I know my limits, and I'm trying to get out of that environment. And, you know, I want to be around a lot of the people at church, because it will advance my career in a lot of ways, because these people are all about money. But I can't, the damaging to my selfhood, I can't deal with it. So I don't know if the last sentence made any sense to you, but, you know, I'm trying not to be too explicit, because in case anybody I know watches this video. But, like, yeah, I'm still looking for churches, and I need to find a place that is just really for God, and not just about this, you know, and this whole secret talk. It's really from that book, The Secret, and they're just like, yeah, you know, like that time, yeah, like, so you know, God's just working it all, like, just really super involved with the words. I can't even express it. I can't even, it's hard. I'll put a little clip example of it, and you'll be able to figure out that, yeah, that's the way that they talk at these churches. And it's just like, really, come on, like, you guys need to just stop. Just stop. So dramatic. But yeah, so that's my thing. So everybody, peace to you. A birthday greeting from me. I hope that, people learn to love each other for who they are, and, understand that what is happening in America is not what's happening all over the world. Um, the American people have been extreme for a long time now, and they're always on the extreme end of the pole. People in Canada are a lot more normal. Um, what else? My son is a genius. If you got kids who have something inside of them, pray that God will send a mentor or somebody to catch on to that. Because you know what? He did have some daycare teachers who, they come, let me show you something. And like at 2 years old, he was able to name all of the planets. And the teacher was just like, "Did you teach him that?" I'm like, "No, I didn't. I didn't. He's just smart." And Miss Shelley, shout out to Miss Shelley if she ever sees this video. Yeah, she noticed that my son was gifted, and a lot of other people have just been surprised at him. So if you have a gifted child, pray for a mentor, pray for somebody to cultivate that soil. And what else is there? I don't know. Oh, and because someone's different than you, they got like a grandma spirit. They got the Wendy uh, Wendy mentality to take care of people. They're not trying to hurt anybody. That's just who they are. Try to accept people for who they are, okay? Because I'm tired of not being accepted. I'm tired of it. Anyways, so peace. God love you, and thank you for watching, taking the time out to watch this video. Goodbye.